guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So, guys, literally, I think it's coming up to 12, about 18 hours ago. No, but it was about 24 hours ago. I and many people were wondering pretty much if the snowcat was going to reach all of its tiers. And a week ago, that really didn't seem like it was ever going to happen. But I woke up this morning and saw something absolutely crazy. The number has jumped exponentially, and it really does look like something is about to happen, which really is kind of a miracle. I'm not even going to lie about that. But I wanted to take a deep dive into this and see exactly what was going on with the Snowcat Haslab, and just to find out whether or not Flint is actually in our future, guys, because this is absolutely nuts, everybody. Leave it to the Haslabs to prove me wrong. And that's exactly what they've done. Let's have a look, everybody. So on Instagram, our good friend Chaz the Guru is basically now, I'm not going to say it's a victory lap, but he is kind of saying what he's always been saying ever since, that no, you weren't wrong. Nobody wants the snowcat. Of course, that is pure sarcasm on the part of Chaz the Guru, who of course is the meme master himself, throwing up all the memes, letting us all know just how wrong we are. Because as you guys know, last week I talked about how is it even possible that we would have reached Lady Jaye in the time that we needed, as we were way back. It was something like 6,000 backers at the time. It was not looking good. Sorry, 8,000 backers at the time had just passed, and it was not looking good. It was not looking like it was possible. And literally yesterday, I think right in the morning, Lady Jaye was unlocked to everyone's joy. And then the question of the Bivouac, the Bivouac, I don't know what you want to call it, was in question. And then earlier this afternoon, it happened. It was absolutely crazy. The Bivouac was unlocked this afternoon, and then the only question was, and the only question is right now, that there's one last mission to bring Flint on board to the Snowcat with 14,000 backers. And as of just a few hours ago, it was sitting at 12,297 backers. And if we hit refresh right now on HasbroPulse.com, it is now jumped all the way up to 13,081 backers with just over 5 hours left to go. It's going to be a photo finish. I'm not going to lie about that. I do believe it is going to be a photo finish right down to the wire. But I have to put my money where my mouth is, and I have to actually do. I do actually have to say, this is looking like we're going to get every single one of these Haslab tiers. I think that it is actually a foregone conclusion now that if we do look at this objectively at $324.99, initially it didn't look like great value without the tiers, and the funding originally was very, very slow. So there really was a question on many people's minds. And you know what? Let's just do exactly what we should do, and take a look at the Haslab Snow CAT and all the videos that are relating to this. Many of them, okay, prior to this week, prior to this week, because you can see a lot of people are reporting on this. But I mean, you can see the titles on the fence, right? There's my video. Is it worth it? Right? Uncle Tim, it's a pass for me, right? What went wrong? There are so many videos just asking, what's going on with the Snowcat. Like, I put in another video that, Haslabs are in trouble, not just on the Snowcat itself, but also on the Star Wars gunship, right? A lot of people, my Destro is a spirit animal. Why the Snowcat hasn't funded yet? Everyone was questioning the idea that the Snowcat is definitely in a lot of trouble. And of course, there were numerous reasons, for this. Obviously, people are not having as much disposable income today. There are so many different problems. Food is expensive. Gas is expensive. everything itself seems to be rising up in cost. And the reality is that there doesn't, and the toys are also rising in cost as well. Suffice it to say, the Snow Cat is one of the most expensive Haslabs to date at $324. This is definitely one of those cases where I think a lot of people were gun shy at this point. Having to deal with the idea of where are you going to be able to put food on the table? Are you able to afford gas to get to work? All these questions keep coming up. And 120 a $324 luxury item, something that you don't need, was definitely something that people were questioning and whether or not they actually needed it. But um, the other consideration, of course, is the timing, right? Obviously, this was announced just prior to San Diego Comic Con. There was a lot of excitement around it. People were expecting that this probably would have been a really good HasLab, but there were a lot of people who were saying that they would have rather had the Mauler as a vehicle, or the Mobat, right? Some people were even saying that where is the Thunder Machine? Where is the Raven? There are a lot of great GI Joe vehicles. A lot of people were saying, "Where's the Havoc? Where is the Havoc? How come these vehicles haven't been given their respect yet?" But the reality is, they have a certain team, and I guess all around this, and the people, the Hasbro team, the Hasbro GI Joe team knows what GI Joe fans want, or at least that's what they claim. And this one did actually, at the very first onset, it seemed to sort of divide the community. A lot of people were just asking, why are we getting the Snowcat before any of these other vehicles? And there was, of course, a vocal set of fans who definitely went to social media to really voice their opinions, and it was heard in many different circles. But as always, I'm just gonna put it out there. As always, it does seem like FOMO. FOMO is definitely the one thing that really sets everything apart, as it does seem today that fear of missing out really is a driving factor in many of these cases. And historically, heading over to geekdadlife.com, another wonderful resource of toy news all year round. Give them a like and a follow, and tell them that Jay sent you. The Haslab Charts by Brian Brink, who was actually made a short appearance over at Titans Talking Toys, talked a little bit about what was going on with this crowdfund. And his historical charts do show at the end, just like they always do, that the final few days of funding really are the hallmark of where crowdfunding is, and really showcase how quickly a crowdfund can go from failure to success, particularly in this case with these particular Haslabs, the Sky Striker, highlighted in cyan, and now the Snowcat, which is highlighted in red. You can see the jump, the drastic jump that just happens right at the end. And even with this particular chart, it is set to just miss Flint at 13,029. But at this pace that's going on right now, it certainly does seem like Flint is somewhat going to be in the conversation at the very least. Hitting refresh now. In the time we've been talking, 13,089 backers. Hitting refresh right now, it is now at 13,104 backers. That is a decent pace, but it's not quite enough to get us to the finish line in 5 hours. We will see right at the tail end. We do know that hundreds and hundreds of pledges can happen right at the end, as the people who have, again, FOMO really do jump on right at the last minute. And as we can see, we've already reached the first two tiers at 10,000 backers. Tier 1, Lady Jaye in Arctic action figure gear, already locked. The Tier 2, Bivouac. Bivouac. People have been educating me on that. The Bivouac battle station has also been unlocked. And now, finally, we are trying our best to reach the 14,000 backers. And it's not too far now. We are literally less than 900 backers away from this. 895 backers, I'm guessing. Hitting refresh again. It's lowered again. So yes, just a little bit under 900 backers, and it's slowly climbing. At this point, I am going to go ahead and say, yeah, Danny might be getting $1 off of our bet at Titans Talking Toys from both me and Carlos because he bet on the Snow Cat, whereas Carlos and I said that Flint was probably not going to be able to make it. We thought for sure the Bivouac was gonna make it, but Flint is always a question mark. So later on tonight, we will be counting down the Snow Cat along with the Snake Lair, which let's just really quickly showcase that the Snake Lair itself, Mattel Creations, is also virtually having its own countdown for tonight. As you can see here, it is 8 hours and 42 minutes and 7 seconds before Lady Slither slips away, and this is the last chance. And I got to tell you, this is another story unfolding in and of itself. There are many people who said that this would not back at all, let alone reach 50%, let alone reach 84% funded as of today. And I got to tell you, this is absolutely crazy. 5,607 backers of a 6,000 backer goal ending August 28, 2025. But today is the last day to get Lady Slither as the early backer bonus. And it looks like that is virtually on the way to being funded. So we'll see later tonight. We'll do a countdown for the last chance to get Lady Slither, and let's see where she ends up, because this one's definitely a figure which a lot of people are going to be going for, and it'll be really interesting to see if we reach the full full backers in time to get Lady Slither into many people's hands, at least 6,000 people's hands. So we will count that down later tonight, and I hope you guys join us for that. But Flint is virtually on our doorstep, everybody, with 14,000 backers, and we're going to count that down as well later tonight on the live stream. I hope you guys will be there to join us to see if Flint and Lady Slither will be able to make their final countdown for today. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. What are your thoughts about Flint literally being on the doorstep of Snow Cat backers, and of course Lady Slither also being on the cusp of the cutoff line for her early backer bonus? Are you guys in on any of these projects, knowing now that each of them has a really good chance of fully funding by the end of the evening, with the Snow Cat actually having all of its tiers unlocked? Or are you guys still questioning the fact that the Snow Cat itself is $325 and that the Snake Lair is a full $300, and that doesn't seem to good value for you, so you're not going to be backing them? Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. Toy News continues, everybody, and as I said earlier, we will be counting down the final countdown for both of these events, as both Flint and Lady Slither are on their final countdown for tonight, and I hope to see you guys there. You can check out that video right here when it posts, and I will see you guys there. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey. Geek proud, everybody. We'll see you later tonight.